संसार दावा नललीढलोका त्राणाय कारुण्या घना घनात्वम् प्राप्तस्य कल्याण गुणनवास्य वन्दे गुरो श्रीचरणरविन्दम् महाप्रभो कीर्तन नित्य गीता वादित्रमाद्यान् मनसुरसेना रोमाञ्चकम्प सुतरङ्गभाजो वन्दे गुरो श्रीचरणरविन्दम् श्री विग्रहाराधन नित्य नाना श्रृंगार तन मंदिर मार्जनाद युक्तस्य भक्तांश्च नियुञ्जतोऽपि वन्दे गुरो श्रीचरणरविन्दम् चतुर्वेदा श्री भगवत्प्रसादा स्वाद्वन्न तृप्तान् हरिभक्त संगा कृत्वैव तृप्तिं भजत सदैव वन्दे गुरो श्रीचरणरविन्दम् श्रीराधिका माधयोरपारा माधुर्यलीला गुणरूप नाम्ना प्रतीक्षणा स्वादनलोलुपस्य वन्दे गुरो श्रीचरणरविन्दम् निकुञ्जयूनो रतिकेली सेद्यै यायालिभिर्युक्तेरपेक्षणीया तत्रातिदार्च्यारतिवल्लभाश्च वन्दे गुरो श्रीचरणरविन्दम् साक्षाद्धरित्वेन समस्तशास्त्रे उक्तस्तथा भायतेव साद्भिः किन्तु प्रभोया प्रिय एव तस्य वन्दे गुरो श्रीचरणरविन्दम् यस प्रसादान् भगवत्प्रसादो यस प्रसादान् न गति कुतोऽपि ध्यायस्तु वां तस्य यस्य श्रीसन्ध्यं वन्दे गुरु श्रीचरणारविन्दम् वन्दे गुरु श्रीचरणारविन्दम् वन्दे गुरु श्रीचरणारविन्दम् नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी निति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. जय राधा नील माधव राधा नील माधव श्री राधे जय राधा श्याम सुंदर राधा श्याम सुंदर श्री राधे जय जगन्नाथ जय जगन्नाथ जय बलदेवा जय सुभद्रा जय सीताराम जय सीताराम जय सीताराम जय लक्ष्मण हनुमान जय लक्ष्मी नरसिम्हा जय लक्ष्मी नरसिम्हा लक्ष्मी नरसिम्हा जय भक्त प्रहलाद नरसिम्हा जय लक्ष्मी नरसिम्हा निताई गौरंग निताई गौरंग निताई गौरंग गौर हरि जय निताई गौरंग निताई गौरंग निताई गौरंग गौर हरि जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा निताई गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताई गौर हरि बोल
Om Shinupad Pramhamsa Pradaka Chayostota Shata Shishmat His Divine Grace Abharachana Vrinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai ISKCON BBTPI Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Jai Om Shinupad Pramhamsa Pradaka Chayostota Shata Shishmat His Divine Grace Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai Nama Acharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Premise Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shama Kunda Radha Kunda Girikarodhan Ki Jai Shri Vardipurmi Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai Shri Navadvip Mayapur Dham Ki Jai Shri Purushottam Chaitanya Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Jai Shri Ayodhya Dham Ki Jai Ganga Mai Ki Jai Yamuna Mai Ki Jai Bhakti Devi Ki Jai Tulsi Devi Ki Jai Samavrita Bhaktivinda Ki Jai Harinama Sankirtana Ki Jai Shri Pandarika Vidyanidhi Avibhava Mahosava Ki Jai Shri Raghunandana Thakur Avibhava Mahosava Ki Jai Srila Raghunath Das Goswami Avibhava Mahosava Ki Jai Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur Tirobhava Mahosava Ki Jai Srimati Vishnu Priya Devi Avibhava Mahosava Ki Jai Shri Saraswati Puja Mahosava Ki Jai Shri Vasant Panchami Mahosava Ki Jai Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.
Namaste Narasimhaya Namaste Narasimhaya प्रह्लादलाददायिने हिरण्यकाशिपूर्वक्षः शीलतङ्कानकालये इतो नरसिंह परतो नरसिंहो परतो नरसिंहो यतो यतो यामि ततो नरसिंह बहे नरसिंहो हृदये नरसिंहो नरसिंहमदिं चरणां प्रपदे तव करकमलवरे नाकाम् अद्भुतशृङ्गां दलिता हिरण्यकशिपु तनुभृङ्गां केशवधृता नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे कमलवरे नाका अद्भुत शृङ्गां दलिता हिरण्यकशिपु तनुभृङ्गां केशवधृता नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय केशवधृता नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे जयो नरसिंहदेव जयो नरसिंहदेव जयो नरसिंहदेव जयो नरसिंहदेव नरसिंहदेव जयो नरसिंहदेव जयो भक्ता प्रह्लाद जयो भक्ता प्रह्लाद जयो भक्ता प्रह्लाद जयो भक्ता प्रह्लाद जय 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 प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभु जय जय गुरुदेव 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 जय जय गुरुदेव जय लक्ष्मी नरसिम्हा स्वामी की जय जय प्रहलाद महाराज की जय
Namo Namaha Tulasi Krishna Preyasi Namo Namaha Namo Namaha Tulasi Krishna Preyasi Namo Namaha Tulasi Krishna Preyasi Namo Namaha Radha Krishna Seva Pavo Ye Abhilasi Radha Krishna Seva Bhavo Ye Abhilasi Radha Krishna Seva Bhavo Ye Abhilasi Radha Krishna Seva Bhavo Ye Abhilasi Je tumhara sarana loy Tara vancha purna hoy Je tumhara sarana loy Tara vancha purna hoy Kripa kori koro tare Vrindavana vasi Kripa kori koro tare Vrindavana vasi Muraye Abhilas Vilas kunje diyo vas Vilas kunje diyo vas Nayane hari bosada Yugala ruparasi Ye nivedanadaro Sakiranugata koro Sevadikara dihe koro nijadasi Dina Krishna dase koi Ye ye namora hoy Shri Radha Govinda preme Sada ye nabasi Shri Radha Govinda preme Sada ye nabasi Yani kani cha papani Brahma hatyadikani cha Tani tani pranasyante Pradakshina pade pade Brahma hatyadikani cha Pranasyante Pradakshina pade pade Yani kani cha papani Brahma hatyadikani cha Tani tani pranasyante pradakshina pade pade. Brahmatyadikani cha tani tani pranasyante pradakshina pade pade. Yani kani cha papani brahmahatyadikani cha tani tani pranasyante pradakshina pade pade. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Vrinda Devi, Jaya Vrinda Devi, Jaya Vrinda Devi, Jaya Vrinda Devi. Jaya Tulsi Maharani, Jaya Tulsi Maharani, Jaya Tulsi Maharani, Jaya Tulsi Maharani. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya. Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev.
Vrindavan Dham. Thus, within my vision, I shall behold the beautiful paths of Radha and Krishna. I beg you to make me follower of Kahortenso's Virgin. Please give me the privilege of devotional service and make me your own maid servant. This very fallen and lowly servant of Krishna prays. May I always swim in the love, Shri Radha and Govind. Srimati Tulsi Maharani ki jai. There are 10 offenses in the matter of chanting holy names should be avoided, and they are as follows. 1. To blaspheme the devotees who dedicate their life propagating the holy name of the Lord. 2. To consider the name of the demigods Lord Shiva or Brahma to be equal to independent name Lord Vishnu. 3. To disobey the orders of spiritual master. 4. To blaspheme the Vedic literature pursuing the Vedic version. 5. To consider the glory of chanting Hare Krishna as imagination. 6. To give some interpretation to holy name of the Lord. 7. To commit sinful activities on strength of chanting holy name. 8. To consider chanting Hare Krishna one of the auspicious ritualistic activities, offering the Vedas as fruity activities, karma, ganda. 9. To instruct a faithless person about the glorious holy name. 10. To not complete faith in the chanting holy names, and to maintain material attachments in understanding so many instructions on this matter. It is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Every devotee who claims to Vaishnava must carefully guard against these 10 offenses in order to quickly achieve desired success, Krishna prema. Now let us offer our most humble obeisances unto all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord. They are just as I trees who can fulfill to everyone and the full compassion for the fallen conditioned souls. Shri Chaitanya Shikshastakam ki jai. Cheto tarpana marjanam bhavamahadavakni nirvapanam Shriya kairava chantrika vitaranam vidyavatu jivanam Anandam buddhivardhanam pratipadam purnamida sadanam Sarvatmasnapanam param vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam Nam namakari pahuta nija sarva shaktis Tatra pita niyamita smaranena kalaha Etatishi tava kripa bhagavam mamapi Durudeva mi desham iha janina nurakaha Trinatapi sunichena tarorapi sahishnuna Amanina manatena kirtaniya sada harihi Na thanam na chanam na sundarim kavitam vachagadisha kamaye Mama jammani jamanishvare bhavata bhaktir haituki toyi Ayinanda tanuja kinkaram patitam ham vishame bhavam puto Kripaya tava pada pankaja sthita duri satesham vichintaya Nayanam karata shurudharaya vadanam katkata rudaya kira Pulakai nichitam vapurkada tava nama karhane bhavishyati Yuga itam nimishena chakshusha pravisha itam Shunya itam jagat sarvam govinda virahe name Ashrishava padaratam pinnashtumam Adarshanam marmahatam karotuva Yatha tatha va vidathatu lampato Matprana nathastu sa eva na paraha Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Shri Chaitanya Shikshastakam ki jai. Glories to Shri Krishna Sankirtana, which cleans the heart of all the dust accumulated for years and distinguishes fire of conditional life, repeated birth and death. This Sankirtana movement is the prime benediction for humanity at large because it spreads the rays of the benediction moon. It is the life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss and enables us to fully take the nectar for which always anxious. O my Lord, your holy name alone grants all benediction human beings. Thus we have hundreds of millions of names like Krishna and Govinda. In these transcendental names they invested all your transcendent energies. They are not even hard and fast rules for chanting these names. O my Lord, our kindness enables us to easily approach you by your holy names, but I'm so unfortunate I have no attraction for them. One should chant the holy name of the Lord in humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than the straw in the street. One should be more tall than a tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and should be ready to offer all respect to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly. O Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor do I desire beautiful women, nor do I want any number of followers. I only want your causeless devotional service, birth after birth. O Sanhamarjananda Krishna, I am your eternal servitor, yet somehow or other have fallen into the ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up from this ocean of death and place me as one of the Adam's at lotus feet. Oh my Lord, while my eyes be decorated with tears of love flowing constantly when I chant your holy name, while my voice choke up, or has my body stand and recitation of your name. Oh Govinda, feeling of separation, I'm constant moment to be like a great millennium. Tears are flowing from eyes like torrents of rain, and I'm feeling all vacant in the world in your absence. I know no one but Krishna as my Lord, and shall remain so if he handles me roughly by his embrace, or makes me broken-hearted by not being present before me. He is completely free to do anything and everything, for he is always my worshipful Lord, unconditionally. Shri Chaitanya Shastakam ki jai. Shri Mangala Charnan prayers ki jai. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshum Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Soyam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Patakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Shcha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Ragnatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakham Vitam Shcha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nivishesha Shunyavadi Pachadesha Tarine Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Iti Namine Shri Varshabhani Videvi Daitaya Kripaptaye Krishna Sambandha Vijnana Daine Prabhavin Namaha Madhuryo Jala Premadya Shri Rupa Nuka Bhaktita Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namostute Namaste Gauravani Shri Murteye Dina Darine Rupa Nuga Virudapa Siddhanta Dvanta Harine Namo Gaura Kishoraya Saksha Vairagya Murteye Vipalambara Sambodhe Padam Pujayate Namaha Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Sachidananda Namine Gaura Shakti Swarupaya Rupanuga Varayate Gauravir Bhava Bhumistvam Nirdeshta Sajana Priyaha Vaishnava Sarvabhama Shri Jaganathaya Te Namaha Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhevacha Patitanam Pavnebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Padayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratishin Namaha Pancha Tattvatmakam Krishna Bhakta Rupa Swarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakham Namami Bhakta Shaktikam He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagapate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Jayatam Sratoro Pango Mamamanda Mater Gati Masarva Swapadam Bojo Radha Madana Mohano Divyed Vindadana Kalpadu Madash Shimadra Nagara Singhasanasto Shimadratha Shila Govinda Devo Prishtari Bi Sevyamano Smarami Shiman Rasa Rasaram Bivam Sivata Tatastitaha Karsham Venu Saner Gopir Gopinatha Shiyestunaha Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhanu Sute Devi Panamami Hari Priye Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Shri Mangala Charna prayers ki jai. Shri Brahma Samhita ki jai. Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Anadya Radya Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam Chintamani Parakara Satma Sukapa Viksha Lakshariteshu Surabhi Rabi Palayantam Lakshmi Sahasra Shata Samprama Sevyamanam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Pajami Venum Kavanantam Ravinda Dalaya Daksha Parhavatam Samasitam Buddha Sundarangam Gantarpa Koti Kamaniya Vishesha Shobham Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Pajami Alola Chantakala Savanamada Vamshi Ranang kadam panayakeli kala vilasam Shamam tipanga lalitam yatapakasham Govindamadi purusham tamaham pachami Angani yasya sakalendriya vrittimanti Pashanti panti kalayanti chiram jaganti Ananda chimma satujula vigrahasya Govindamadi purusham tamaham pachami Advaitam achotam anadi manantarupam Adyam purana purusham navayovanam cha Vedesho durlabam adurlabam atma bhakto Govindamadi purusham tamaham pachami Pantastu koti shatavastara sampragamyo Vayuratapi manaso muni pangavanam Sopyasti yapapada simya vichinta tatve Govindamadi purusham tamaham pachami Ekopya sarachaitum jagatanta kotim Yachakti rasti jagatanta chaya yatantaha Antantarastha paramanu chayantarastham Govindamadi purusham tamaham pachami Yad bhava bhavitatiyo manujastateva Samprapya rupa mahimasanayana bhushaha Suktayam eva nigama patitai stuvanti Govindamadi purusham tamaham pachami Ananda chimma rasa patibhavitapis Tapiya eva nijarupa taya kalapihi Goloka eva nivasatya kilatma bhuto Govindamadi purusham tamaham pachami Premanjana churuta bhakti vilochanena Santa sadeva hitayeshu vilokayanti Yam shama sundar machintya guna swarupam Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami Ramadi murtishu kala niyamena tishtan Nanavataram karo puvaneshu kintu Krishna swayam samapavat paramapumamyo Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami Krishna, who is known as Govinda, the Supreme Godhead, he has an eternal blissful spiritual body. He is the origin of all. He has no other origin and the prime cause of all causes. I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, the first progenitor who is tending the cows, yielding all desire, in abodes built with spiritual gems, surrounded by millions of purple trees, always served with great reverence and affection by hundreds of thousands of Lakshmis or Gopis.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who is adept in playing on his flute with blooming eyes like lotus petals, with head decked with peacock's feather, with a figure of beauty tinged with the hue of blue clouds, and his unique loveliness charming millions of cupids.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, around whose neck is swinging a garland of flowers, beautified by the moon locket, whose two hands are adorned with a flute and jeweled ornaments, who always revels in pastimes of love, whose graceful threefold bending forms of Shama Sundar is eternally manifest.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, whose transcendental form is full of bliss, truth, substantiality, and is thus full of the most dazzling splendor. Each of the limbs of the transcendental figure possesses in himself the full-fledged functions of all the organs. It eternally sees, maintains, and manifests the infinite universes, both spiritual and mundane.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who is inaccessible to the Vedas, but obtainable by pure unalloyed devotion of the soul, who is without a second, who is not subject to decay, is without a beginning, whose form is endless, who is the beginning, and the eternal Purusha, yet he is a person possessing the beauty of blooming youth.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, only the tip of the toe of whose lotus feet is approached by the yogis, who aspire after the transcendental and betake themselves to pranayama by drilling the respiration, or by the jnanis who try to find out the non-differentiated Brahman by the process of elimination of the mundane extending over thousands of billions of years.
He is an undifferentiated entity, as there is no distinction between potency and the possessor thereof. In his work of creation of millions of worlds, his potency remains inseparable. All the universes exist in him, and he is present in his fullness in every one of the atoms that are scattered throughout the universe at one and the same time. Such is the primeval Lord whom I adore.
I adore the same Govinda, the primeval Lord, in whose praise men who are imbued with the devotion sing the mantra suktas told by the Vedas, by gaining their appropriate beauty, greatness, thrones, conveyances, and ornaments.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, residing in his own realm, Goloka, with Radha resembling his own spiritual figure, the embodiment of the ecstatic potency possessed of the 64 artistic activities, in the company of her confidants, Sakhis, embodiments of the extension of her bodily form, permeated and vitalized by his ever blissful spiritual rasa.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who is Shamasundara Krishna himself with inconceivable, innumerable attributes, whom the pure devotees see in their heart of hearts with the eye of devotion tinged with the salve of love.
I worship Govinda, the primary Lord, who manifests himself personally as Krishna and the different avatars in the world in the forms of Rama, Nrsimha, Vamana, etc. as his subjective portions. Shri Brahma Samhita ki jai.
Bhagavad Gita 7.1 Purport Srinvatam Swakata Krishna Punya Sravana Kirtanaha Hridayanta Hiso Hi Abhadrani Vidunoti Suhritsatam Nasta Prayesva Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Sloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki Tada Rajastamo Bhava Kama Lobhazayase Cheta Eterana Vedam Sitam Satve Prasidati Evam Prasanna Manaso Bhagavad Bhakti Yogatah भगवतत्त्व विज्ञानं मुक्तसंगस्य जायते द्यते हृदय ग्रन्थे सिद्ध्यन्ते सर्वसंशयाः क्षीयन्ते च कर्माणि दृष्टा एवात्मनीश्वरे. To hear about Krishna from Vedic literatures or to hear from him directly through the Bhagavad Gita is itself righteous activity, and for one who hears about Krishna, Lord Krishna, who is dwelling in everyone's heart, acts as the best wishing friend and purifies the devotee who constantly engages in hearing of him. In this way, a devotee naturally develops his dormant transcendental knowledge. As he hears more about Krishna from the Bhagavatam and from the devotees, he becomes fixed in the devotional service of the Lord. By development of devotional service, one becomes freed from the modes of passion and ignorance, and thus material lust and avarice are diminished. When these impurities are wiped away, the candidate remains steady in his position of pure goodness, becomes enlivened by devotional service, and understands the science of God perfectly. Thus, Bhakti Yoga severs the hard knot of material affection and enables one to commit once to the stage of Asamsayam Samagram, understanding of the Supreme Absolute Truth, Personality, Godhead. Bhagavatam 1.2.17 to 21. Therefore, only by hearing from Krishna or from his devotee in Krishna consciousness can one understand the science of Krishna. Hare Krishna. We'll continue reading Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 5. Vidura talks with Maitreya. Text 1. Sri Sukha Uvacha Dwaridyunadhya Rishabha Kurunam Maitreyam Asinam Agada Bodham Shyattopastrayachyuta Bhavasiddha Papracha Sausilya Gunabitraptaha. Sri Sukha Uvacha, Sukadev Goswami said, Dwari, at the source of Dhyunadhya, the celestial river Ganges, Rishabha, the best of the Kurus, Kurunam, of the Kurus, Maitreyam, unto Maitreya, Asinam, sitting, Agada Bodham, of unfathomed knowledge, Kshatta, Satta, Vidura, Upastraya, having approached nearer, Achyuta, the infallible Lord, Bhava, character, Siddhaha, perfect, Papracha, inquired, Sausilya, gentleness, Gunabhitprataha, satisfied in transcendental qualities. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Sukadeva Goswami said, Vidura, the best amongst the Kuru dynasty, who was perfect in devotional service to the Lord, thus reached the source of the celestial Ganges river, Hardwar, where Maitreya, the great father, fathomless, learned sage of the world, was seated. Vidura, who was perfect in gentleness and satisfied in transcendence, inquired from him. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Vidura was already perfect due to his unalloyed devotion to the infallible Lord. The Lord and the living entities are all qualitatively the same by nature, but the Lord is qualitatively much greater than any individual living entity. He is ever infallible, whereas the living entities are prone to fall under the illusory energy. Vidura had already surpassed the fallible nature of the living entity in conditional life due to his being Achyuta Bhava, or legitimately absorbed in the devotional service of the Lord. This stage of life is called Achyuta Bhava Siddha, or perfection by dint of devotional service. Anyone, therefore, who is absorbed in the devotional service of the Lord is a liberated soul and has all admirable qualities. The learned sage Maitreya was sitting in a solitary place on the bank of the Ganges at Hardwar, and Vidura, who was a perfect devotee of the Lord and possessed all good transcendental qualities, approached him for inquiry. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 5, Text 2. Vidura Uvacha Sukhaya Karmani Karoti Loko Nathai Sukham Vanyad Uparamam Va Vindeta Bhuyastata Eva Dukham yad atra yuktam bhagavan vadena. Vidura uvacha, Vidura said, Sukhaya, for attaining happiness, karmani, fruitive activities, karoti, everyone does so. Loka, in this world, na, never. Thai, by those activities. Sukham, any happiness. Va, or. Anya, differently. Uparamam, satiation. Va, either. Vindeta, achieves. Bhuya, on the contrary. Tataha, by such activities. Eva, certainly. Dukkham, miseries. Yat, that which. Atra, under the circumstances. Yuktam, right course. Bhagavan, O great one. Vadet, may kindly enlighten. Naha, us. Translation by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Vidura said, O great sage, everyone in this world engages in fruitive activities to attain happiness, but one finds neither satiation nor the mitigation of distress. On the contrary, one is only aggravated by such activities. Please therefore give us directions on how one should live for real happiness. Purport by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Vidura asked Maitreya some common questions, which was not originally his intention. Uddhava asked Vidura to approach Maitreya Muni and inquire into all the truths concerning the Lord, his name, fame, quality, form, pastimes, entourage, etc. And thus, when Vidura approached Maitreya, he should have asked only about the Lord. But out of natural humility, he did not immediately ask about the Lord, but inquired into a subject which would be of great importance to the common man. A common man cannot understand the Lord. He must first know the real position of his life under the influence of the illusory energy. In illusion, one thinks that he can be happy only by fruitive activities. But what actually happens is that one becomes more and more entangled in the network of action and reaction and does not find any solution to the problem of life. There is a nice song in this connection. Because of a great desire to have all happiness in life, I built this house, but unfortunately the whole scheme has turned to ashes because the house was unexpectedly set on fire. The law of nature is like that. Everyone tries to become happy by planning in the material world, but the law of nature is so cruel that it sets fire to one's schemes. The fruitive worker is not happy in his schemes, nor is there any satisfaction of his continuous hankering for happiness. Canto 3, Chapter 5, Text 3. Janasya Krishna Vimukasya Daivat Adharmasilasya Sudukshitasya Anugraheyaya Charanti Nunam Bhutani Bhavyani Janardanasya. Janasya, of the common man. Krishnat, from the Supreme Lord. Krishna. Vimukasya, of the one who has turned his face against the Lord. Daivat, by the influence of external energy. Adharmasilasya, of one who is engaged in irreligion. Sudukhitasya, of one who is always unhappy. Anugrahaya, due to being compassionate towards them. Iha, in this world. Charanti, wander. Nunam, certainly. Bhutani, persons. Bhavyani, great philanthropic souls. Janardanasya, of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Translation by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. O my Lord, great philanthropic souls travel in the earth on behalf of the Supreme Personality of Godhead to show compassion to the fallen souls who are averse to the sense of subordination to the Lord. Purport by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. To be obedient to the wishes of the Supreme Lord is the natural position of every living entity. But due only to past misdeeds, a living being becomes averse to the sense of subordination to the Lord and suffers all the miseries of material existence. No one has anything to do but render devotional service to the Supreme Lord, Lord Sri Krishna. Therefore, any activity other than transcendental loving service to the Lord is more or less rebellious action against the Supreme Will. All fruitive activity, empirical philosophy, and mysticism are more or less against the sense of subordination to the Lord. And any living entity engaged in such rebellious activity is more or less condemned by the laws of material nature, which work under the subordination of the Lord. Great unalloyed devotees of the Lord are compassionate towards the fallen, and therefore they travel all over the world with the mission of bringing souls back to Godhead back to home. Such pure devotees of the Lord carry the message of Godhead in order to deliver the fallen souls, and therefore the common man who is bewildered by the influence of the external energy of the Lord should avail himself of their association. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 5, Text 4. Tat sadhu varyadisa vartmasamnaha samradito bhagavan yena pumsham hridhi sthito yachati bhakti pute Jnanam sa tattvadhigamam puranam. Tad, therefore, Sadhu Varya, O great one amongst the saints, Adisa, please instruct, Vartma, the path, Sam, auspicious, Naha, for us, Samraditaha, being perfectly served, Bhagavan, the personality of Godhead, Yena, by which, Pumsam, of the living entity, Hridistitaha, residing in the heart, Yachati, to awards, Bhakti Pute, unto the unalloyed devotee, Jnanam, knowledge, Sa, that, Tattva, truth, Adhigamam, by which one learns, Puranam, authorized old. Translation by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Therefore, O great sage, please give me instruction on the transcendental devotional service of the Lord, so that he who is situated in the heart of everyone can be pleased to impart from within knowledge of the absolute truth in terms of the ancient Vedic principles delivered only to those who are purified by the process of devotional service. Purport by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. As already explained in the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, the absolute truth is realized in three different phases, although they are one and the same in terms of the knower's capacity to understand. The most capable transcendentalist is the pure devotee of the Lord, who is without any tinge of fruitive actions or philosophical speculation. By devotional service only does one's heart become completely purified from all material coverings like karma, jnana, and yoga. Only in such a purified stage does the Lord, who is seated in everyone's heart with the individual soul, give instructions so that the devotee can reach the ultimate destination of going back home, back to Godhead. This is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 10.10. Tesam satata yukta nam bhajatam. Only when the Lord is satisfied with the devotional service of the devotee does he impart knowledge, as he did for Arjuna and Uddhava. The jnanis, yogis, and karmis cannot expect this direct cooperation with the Lord. They are not able to satisfy the Lord by transcendental loving service, nor do they believe in such service to the Lord. The bhakti process, as performed under the regulative principles of Vaidhi Bhakti, or devotional service following the prescribed rules and regulations, is defined by the revealed scriptures and confirmed by great acharyas. This practice can help the neophyte devotee to rise to the stage of Raga Bhakti, in which the Lord responds from within as the Chaitya Guru, or the spiritual master as super consciousness. All transcendentalists, other than devotees, make no distinction between the individual soul and the super soul, because they miscalculate the super consciousness and the individual consciousness to be one and the same. Such miscalculation by the non-devotees make them unfit to receive any direction from within, and therefore they are bereft of the direct cooperation of the Lord. After many births, when such a non-dualist comes to sense that the Lord is worshipable and the devotee is simultaneously one with and different from the Lord, then only can he surrender unto the Lord Vasudeva. Pure devotional service begins from that point. The process of understanding the absolute truth adopted by the misguided non-dualists is very difficult, whereas the devotee's way of understanding the absolute truth comes directly from the Lord, who is pleased by devotional service. On behalf of many neophyte devotees, Vidura at the very first instance inquired from Maitreya about the path of devotional service by which the Lord, who is seated within the heart, can be pleased.
Text 5, Canto 3, Chapter 5. Karoti karmani krutavatare yani atmatantro bhagavamstraya dishaha yada sasa arjagra idam nirihaha samstapya vrittim jagato vidatte. Karoti does them, karmani transcendental activities, kruta by accepting, avatara incarnation, yani all those, atma tantraha self independent, Bhagavan the personality of Godhead, Triyadishaha the Lord of the three worlds, Yada as much as, Sasarja created, Agre at first, Idam this cosmic manifestation, Niriha although desireless, Samstapya by establishing, Vrittim means of livelihood, Jagataha of the universe, Vidatte as he regulates. Translation: O great sage, kindly narrate how the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the independent, desireless Lord of the three worlds and the controller of all energies, accepts incarnations and creates the cosmic manifestation with perfectly arranged regulatory principles for its maintenance. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Lord Krishna is the original personality of Godhead, from whom the three creative incarnations, namely the Purusha avatars, Karanarna Vasai Vishnu, Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu, and Shirodaka Sai Vishnu, expand. The whole material creation is connected by the three Purushas in successive stages under the external energy of the Lord, and thus material nature is controlled by Him. Thinking material nature to be independent is like seeking the milk from the nipple like bags on the neck of a goat. The Lord is independent and desireless. He does not create the material world for His own satisfaction, as we create our household affairs to fulfill our material desires. Actually, the material world is created for the illusory enjoyment of the conditioned souls who have been against the transcendental service of the Lord since time immemorial. But the material universes are full in themselves. There is no scarcity for maintenance in the material world because of their poor fund of knowledge. The materialists are disturbed when there is an apparent increase of population on the earth. Whenever there is a living being on the earth, however, his subsistence is immediately arranged by the Lord. The other species of living entities, who far outnumber human society, are never disturbed for maintenance. They are never seen dying of starvation. It is only human society that is disturbed about the food situation, and, to cover up the real fact of administrative mismanagement, takes shelter in the plea that the population is excessively increasing. If there is any scarcity in the world, it is a scarcity of God consciousness. Otherwise, by the grace of the Lord, there is no scarcity of anything.
Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 5, Text 6. Yata punasveka idam niveshya sete guhayam sa nivritta vrittihi yogeswaradishwara ekat etat anupravisto bahuda yata as much as punaha again sway in his cave form of space virat rupa idam this niveshya entering into sete lies down guhayam within the universe saha he the personality of Godhead Nivrata, without endeavor, Vrittihi, means of livelihood, Yoga Ishvara, the master of all mystic powers, Adishwaraha, proprietor of everything, Ekaha, one without a second, Eta, this, Anupravishataha, entering afterwards, Bahuda, by innumerable, Yata, as much as, Asit, exists, translation by Srila Prabhupada, Ki Jai. He lies down on his own heart spread in the form of the sky, and thus placing the whole creation in that space. He expands himself into many living entities which are manifested as different species of life. He does not have to endeavor for his maintenance because he is the master of all mystic powers and the proprietor of everything. Thus, he is distinct from the living entities. Purport by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The questions regarding creation, maintenance, and destruction, which are mentioned in many parts of the Srimad Bhagavatam, are in relation to different millenniums, kalpas, and therefore they are differently described by different authorities when questioned by different students. There is no difference regarding the creative principles and the Lord's control over them. Yet there are some difference in the minute details because of different kalpas. The gigantic sky is the material body, the gigantic sky is the material body of the Lord, called the Virat Rupa, and all material creations are resting on the sky, or the heart of the Lord. Therefore, beginning from the sky, the first material manifestation to the gross vision, down to the earth, everything is called Brahman. Sarva Kalva idam Brahma. There is nothing but the Lord, and He is one without a second. The living entities are the superior energies, whereas matter is the inferior energy, and the combination of these energies brings about the manifestation of this material world, which is in the heart of the Lord.
Kridin vidate dvijigo suranam Kshemaya karmani vatara bedai Mano natripyati abhisne navatam Naha shushloka maulas shauritamarti tani Matatarni
Murtani.
Mrutani.
Kridan, manifesting pastime. Vidatte, he performs. Dvija, twice born. Go, cows. Suranam, of the demigods. Kshemaya, welfare. Karmani, transcendental activities. Avatara, incarnation. Vedaihi, differently. Manah, mind. Na, never. Trupyati, satisfies. Api, in spite of. Shrunvatam, continuously hearing. Nah, our. Susloka, auspicious. Maulehe, of the Lord. Charita, characteristics. Amrutani, undying.
Translation. You may narrate also about the auspicious characteristics of the Lord in his different incarnations of the welfare of the twice born, the cows and the demigods. Our minds are never satisfied completely, although we continuously hear of his transcendental activities. Purport. The Lord appears in this universe in different incarnations like Matsya, Kurma, Varaha, and Nrsimha, and he manifests his different transcendental activities for the welfare of the twice born, the cows and the demigods. The Lord is directly concerned with the twice born or a civilized man. A civilized man who is one who a civilized man is one who has taken his birth twice. A living entity takes birth in this mundane world due to the union of male and female. A human being is more due to.
What is that word? It's born. It didn't sound like born. Please, you're not focusing.
A human being is born due to union of the father and mother, but a civilized human being has another birth by contact with the spiritual master, who becomes the actual father. The father and mother of the material body are so only in one birth, and in the
Everybody speaks into it in terms of don't put it close to your mouth. That's the reason I keep
A human being is born due to union of the father and mother, but a civilized human being has another birth by contact with the spiritual master, who becomes the actual father. The father and mother of the material body are so only in one birth, and in the next birth, if the father and mother may be a different couple, but the bona fide spiritual master, as the representative of the Lord, is the eternal Father, because the spiritual master has the responsibility to lead the disciple to spiritual salvation, or the ultimate goal of life. Therefore, a civilized man must be born twice. Must be twice born. Otherwise, he is no more than the lower animals. The cow is the most important animal for developing the human body to perfection. The body can be maintained by any kind of foodstuff, but cow's milk is particularly essential for developing the finer tissues of the human brain, so that one can understand the intricacies of transcendental knowledge. A civilized man is expected to live on foodstuffs comprising fruits, vegetables, grains, sugar, and milk. The bull helps in the agriculture process of producing grain, etc. And thus, in one sense, the bull is the father of humankind, whereas the cow is the mother, for she supplies milk to human society. A civilized man is therefore expected to give all protection to the bulls and cows. The demigods, or the living entities who live in the higher planets, are far superior to human beings, since Since they have better arrangements for living conditions, they live far more luxurious than human beings. Yet they are all devotees of the Lord. The Lord incarnates in different forms, such as those of fish, such as those of a fish, a tortoise, a hog, and a combined lion with and man, and a lion combined with man, just to give protection to civilized man. The cow and the demigods who are directly responsible for the regulative life of progressive self-realization, the whole system self-realization. The whole system of the material creation is planned so that the conditioned souls may have the opportunity for self-realization. One who takes advantage of such Stop it. The whole system of the material creation is planned out so that the conditioned souls may have the opportunity for self-realization. One who takes advantage of such This is called slow. One who takes advantage of such an arrangement is called a demigod or civilized man. The cow is meant to help maintain such a high standard of living. The Lord's pastimes for the protection of the twice-born civilized men, the cows and the demigods are all transcendental. A human being is inclined to hear good narrations and stories, and therefore there are so many books, magazines, and newspapers on the market to satisfy the interest of the developed soul. But the pleasure in such literature, after it is read once, becomes stale, and people do not take any interest in reading such literature repeatedly. In fact, newspapers are read for less than an hour and then thrown in the dustbins as rubbish. The case is similar with all other mundane literatures. But the beauty of transcendental literatures like Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam is that they never become old. They have been read in the world by civilized men for the last 5,000 years, and they have never become old. They are ever fresh to the learned scholars and devotees, and even by daily repetition of the verses of Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, there is no station for devotees like Vidra. Vidra might have heard the pastimes of the Lord many, many times before he met Maitreya. But still, he wanted the same narrations to be repeated because he was never satiated by hearing them. That is the transcendental nature of the Lord's glorious pastimes.
Text 8, Canto 3, Chapter 5. Istaitvabedairadilokanaado lokan saha lokapalan achiklapadyatra hi sarvasatva nikaya vedo dikrita pratita. Yaihi by whom tattva truth, Vedaihi by differentiation, Adiloka Nadaha. The king of the king, Lokan planets, Alokan planets of the lower regions, Saha along with Lokapalan respective kings, Achil Klpad planned, Yatra wherein he certainly, Sarva all, Sattva existent, Nikaya living entities, Vedaha difference, Adikritaha occupied, Pratitaha it so appears. Translation. The Supreme King of all kings has created different planets and places of habitation, where living entities are situated in terms of the modes of nature and work, and he has created their different kings and rulers. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Lord Krishna is the chief king of all kings, and he has created different planets for all kinds of living entities. Even on this planet, there are different places for inhabitation by different types of men. There are places like deserts, islands, and valleys in mountain countries. And in each of them, there are different kinds of men born of different modes of nature according to their past deeds. There are people in the Arabian deserts and in the valleys of the Himalayan mountains, and in the inhabitants of these two places differ from one another. Just as the inhabitants of the islands also differ from them.
Where? Similarly, there are also different planets. The planets below the Earth, down to the Bata planet, are full of various kinds of living beings. No planet is vacant, as wrongly imagined by the modern so-called scientists. In Bhagavad Gita, we find it said by the Lord that the living entities are sarvagata, are present in every sphere of life. So there is no doubt that on other planets there are also inhabitants like us, sometimes with greater intelligence and greater opulence. The living conditions for those of greater intelligence are more luxurious than on this earth. There are also planets where no sunlight reaches, and there are living entities who must live there due to their past deeds. And all such plans for living conditions are made by the Supreme Lord, and Vidura requested Maitreya to describe this for the sake of further enlightenment. येन प्रजानां मुदात्मकर्म रूपाभिधानां च व्यदाता नारायणो विश्वशृगात्मयोनिर् एतच्च नो वर्णय विप्रवर्य.
Ena, by which prajanam, of those who are born. Uta is also Atma karma, destined engagement. Rupa, form and feature. Abhidhanam, endeavor. Cha, also. Bidham, differentiation. Vyadatta, dispersed. Narayanaha, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Vishwashruk, the creator of the universe. Atma Yoni, self-sufficient. Yetat, all these. Cha, also. Nah, unto us. Varnaya, describe. Vipravarya, O chief amongst the Brahmanas.
I just want to keep distance because you're sick. I just want to stay away from you because you're sick. Translation. O chief amongst the Brahmanas, please also describe how Narayana, the creator of the universe and the self-sufficient Lord, has directly created the natures, activities, forms, features, and names of the different living creatures. Okay. Purport. Every living being is under the plan of his natural inclinations in terms of the modes of material nature. His work is manifested in terms of the nature of the three modes, and his form and bodily features are designed according to his work, and his name is designated according to his bodily features. For example, the higher classes of men are white, sukla, and the lower classes of men are black. This division of white and black is in terms of one's white and black duties of life. Pious acts lead one to take to take birth in a good and highly placed family, to become rich, to become learned, and to acquire beautiful bodily features. Impious acts lead one to become poor by parentage, to always be in want, to become a fool or illiterate, and to acquire ugly bodily features. Vidura requested Maitreya to explain these differences between all the living creatures made by Narayana, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Text 10. Text 10. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 5. Text 10. Paravaresham Bhagavan Vratani Srutani Me Vyasamukada Abhikshanam Atrunama Kshula Sukavahanam Tesham Rite Krishna Katamartahat Taughat.
Para higher, Avaresham of this lower, Bhagavan, O my Lord, O Great One, Vratani, occupation, Srutani, heard, me by me, Vyasa, Mukat, from the mouth, Abhikshanam, repeatedly, Atruptuma, I am satisfied, Kshulla, little, Sukavahanam, that which causes happiness, Tesham, out of that, Hriday, without, Krishna Tada Kata, talks about the personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna, Amrita Ogat, from the nectar.
Translation. O my Lord, I have repeatedly heard about these higher and lower statuses of human society from the mouth of Vyasadeva. Statuses of human society from the mouth of Vyasadeva, and I am quite satisfied.
People who watch you singing like this, they think you are not serious. People can tell your mindset based on your personal behavior.
What is this?
I'm quite satisfied, right?
There's no F.
Or satiated. I'm quite satiated.
And I am quite satiated with all these less subject matters and their happiness. They have not satisfied me with the nectar of topics about Krishna. Purport. Because people are very much interested in hearing social and historical presentations, Srila Vyasadeva has compiled many books such as the Puranas and Mahabharata. These books are reading matter for the mass of people, and they were compiled with a view to reviving their God consciousness, now forgotten in the conditional life of material existence. The real purpose of such literatures is not so much to present topics and historical references, but to revive the people's sense of God consciousness. For example, Mahabharata is the history of the Battle of Kurukshetra, and common people read it because it is full of topics regarding the social, political, and economic problems of human society. But factually, the most important part of Mahabharata is Bhagavad Gita, which is automatically taught to readers along with the historical narrations of the Battle of Kurukshetra. Vidura explained to Maitreya his position of being fully satisfied with the knowledge of mundane social and political topics and having no more interest in them. He was anxious to hear transcendental topics regarding Lord Sri Krishna, but there were insufficient topics directly concerning Krishna in the Puranas, Mahabharata, etc. He was not satisfied and wanted to know more about Krishna. Krishna Katha or topics regarding Krishna Katha or topics regarding Krishna are transcendental, and there is no satiation in hearing such topics. Bhagavad Gita is important on account of its being Krishna Katha or speeches delivered by Lord Krishna. The story of the Battle of Kurukshetra may be interesting for the mass of people, but to a person like Vidura, who is highly advanced in devotional service, only Krishna Katha and that which is dovetailed with Krishna Katha is interesting. Vidura wanted to hear of everything from Maitreya, and so he acquired from him. But he desired that all the topics be in relationship with Krishna, as fire is never satisfied in its consumption of firewood, so a pure devotee of the Lord never hears enough about Krishna. Historical events and other narrations concerning social and political incidents all became transcendental as soon as they are in relationship with Krishna. That is the way to transform mundane things into spiritual identity. The whole world can be transformed into Vaikuntha if all worldly activities are dovetailed into Krishna Katha. There are two important Krishna Kathas current in the world, Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. Bhagavad Gita is Krishna Katha because it is spoken by Krishna, whereas Srimad Bhagavatam is Krishna Katha because it narrates about Krishna. Lord Chaitanya advised all his disciples to preach Krishna Katha all over the world without discrimination because the transcendental value of Krishna Katha can purify one and all from material contamination. 3 more verses. Kastripan Prunyat Tirtha Pado Bidanta Bidanat Satre Shuvaha Surebiridyamanat Yaha Karnanadim Purusha Shasya Jato Bhava Pradam Geha Ratim Chinati.
Line on the top, okay. Yes, that means you have to stretch there. Bhava
Pradam Geha Ratim Chinati.
Yeah, like that. Whenever you got to look for a line. Ka, who is that man? Trupnuyat. You see, I stretched it. That can be satisfied. Tirtha Pada, whose lotus feet are all the places of pilgrimage. Abhidhanat, from the talks of Kshatresu in human society, one who is. Suribhi, by great devotees. Idyamanat, one who is so worshipped. Yahu. Karnanadim, in the holes of the ears. Purusasya, of a man. Yataha, entering. Bhavapradam, that which awards births and deaths. Geharatim, family affection. Chinatti is cut off.
Purport. Krishna Katha is so powerful that simply by entering into
Translation, you see, lack of focus. It's okay, Nana. These are indications. These are external indications. This tell your mindset. This is okay.
translation. Who in human society can be satisfied without hearing sufficient talk of the Lord, whose lotus feet are the sum total of all places of pilgrimage, and who is worshipped by great sages and devotees? Such topics can cut off one's bondage to family affection simply by entering the holes of one's ears. Purport. Krishna Katha.
We do that, right? Purport by divine grace, Bhakti
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Krishna Katha is so powerful that simply by entering into a person's ear, it can at once give deliverance from the bondage of family affection. Family affection is an illusory manifestation of the external energy, and it is the only impetus for all mundane activities. As long as there is mundane activity and the mind is absorbed in such engagement, one has to undergo the repetition of birth and death in the current material in the science. People are most influenced by the mode of ignorance, and some are influenced by the passionate mode of material nature. And under the spell of these two modes, a living being is not actuated by the material conception of life. The mundane qualities do not allow a living entity to understand his real position. The qualities of both ignorance and passion strongly bind one to the illusory bodily conception of the self. But the best among the fools who are thus deluded are those who engage in altruistic activities under the spell of the material mode of passion. Bhagavad Gita, which is direct Krishna Katha, gives humanity the elementary lesson that the body is perishable and that the consciousness which is spread throughout the body is imperishable. The conscious being, the imperishable self, is eternally existent and cannot be killed under any circumstances. Even after the dissolution of the body, anyone who misunderstands this perishable body to be the self and who works for it in the name of sociology, politics, philanthropy, altruism, nationalism, or internationalism, under the false plea of the bodily conception of life, is certainly a fool and does not know the implications of reality and unreality. Reality and unreality. Some of them are above the modes of ignorance and passion and are situated in the mode of goodness. But then goodness is always contaminated by tinges of ignorance and passion. Mundane goodness can enlighten one that the body and the self are different, but one is goodness is concerned with the self and not the body. But due to being contaminated, those in mundane goodness cannot understand the real nature of the self as a person. The personal conception of the self as distinct from the body keeps them in the mode of goodness within material nature, and unless they are attracted by Krishna Katha, they will never be liberated from the bondage of material existence. Krishna Katha is the only remedy for all people of the world because it can situate one in pure consciousness of the self and liberate one from material bondage. To preach Krishna Katha all over the world, as recommended by Lord Chaitanya, is the greatest missionary activity, and all sensible men and women of the world may join in this great movement started by Lord Chaitanya. No, Daddy. Look at time.
You can have trust in
Just
that.
one, Daddy.
Yes.
Munirvivakuksur bhagavad gunanam Sthapite bharatam maha Krishna yasmin ranam gramya shukha nuvadya dair matya grahat Grihitanya no hare katyayam.
Muni, the sage, Vivakshu described Bhagavat of the personality of Godhead. Gunanam, transcendental qualities. Saka, friend, Api also. Te, your Bharatam, the Mahabharata, Aha, has described. Krishna Dvaipayana Vyasa. Yasmin, in which Ranam of the people. Gramya, worldly. Sukanu Vadai, pleasure derived from mundane topics. Mati, attention. Grihitanu, just to draw towards Hare of the Lord. Katayam, speeches of Bhagavad Gita.
Translation. Your friend the great sage Krishna Dwapayana Vyasa has already described the transcendental qualities of the Lord in his great work, in his great work, the Mahabharata. But the whole idea is to draw the attention of the mass of people to Krishna Katha Bhagavad Gita through their strong affinity for hearing mundane topics. Purport. The great sage Krishna Dvapayana Vyasa is the author of all Vedic literature, of which his Vedanta Sutra of Srimad Bhagavatam, of which his works Vedanta Sutra, Srimad Bhagavatam, and Mahabharata are very popular readings. As stated in Bhagavatam 1.4.25, Srila Vyasadeva compiled the Mahabharata for the less intelligent class of men who take more interest in mundane topics than in the philosophy of life. The Vedanta Sutra was compiled for persons already above the mundane topics, who might already have tasted the bitterness of the so-called happiness of mundane affairs. The first aphorism of Vedanta Sutras, Ato, that is a that. That's what I said. Is atato brahma jignasa. The i.e. that is only when one has finished the business of mundane inquiries in the marketplace of sense gratification can one make relevant inquiries regarding Brahman, the transcendence. Those persons who are busy with the mundane inquiries which fill the newspapers and other such literatures are classified as Sri Sudra, Dvija Bandhus, or women. The labor class are unworthy sons of the higher classes, Brahmana, Kshatriya, and Vaishya. Such less intelligent men cannot understand the purpose of Vedanta Sutra, although they may make a show of studying the sutras in a perverted way. The real purpose of Vedanta Sutra is explained by the author himself in the Srimad Bhagavatam, and anyone trying to understand Vedanta Sutra without reference to Srimad Bhagavatam is certainly misguided. Such misguided persons who are interested in the mundane affairs of philanthropic and altruistic work under the misconception of the body as the self could better take advantage of the Mahabharata, which was specifically compiled by Srila Vyasadeva for their benefit. The great author was compiled to the Mahabharata in such a way that the less intelligent class of men who are more interested in mundane topics may read the Mahabharata with great relish, and in the course of mundane happiness can also take the advantage of Bhagavad Gita. Preliminary study of Srimad Bhagavatam or the Vedanta Sutra, Srila Vyasadeva had no interest in writing a history of mundane activities other than to give less intelligent persons a chance for transcendental realization through Bhagavad Gita. Vidura's reference to the Mahabharata indicates that he had heard of the Mahabharata from Vyasadeva, his real father, and while he was away from home and was touring the places of pilgrimage. Gandhara Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai. Today we read up to Srimad Bhagavatam Canto 3, Chapter 5, text 13. Text 12. Tomorrow we will read text 13. We are starting Guru Puja. Hare Krishna.
You're going to do the Guru Puja, Nana? You're going to sing Guru Puja. Well, sometimes what's called the mucus gets in my way, so it doesn't let me sing smoothly. Okay, I'll chorus you.
But can I sit down, Daddy?
What?
Can I sit down? Because it hurts my shoulders a lot, and my neck will hurt.
You can sit down.
Okay.
Outside.
Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Huh? Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakti Sadma. Vandamui Samanana Mante. Hara Prasade Bhai Re Baba Toriya Jai. Krishna Prapti ho jaha hoite. Guru Mukha Padma Manya Chitte Koriya Kya. Are na kori ho mane asha. Charane rati aise utama gati. Jai prasade pure sarva asha. Jai prasade pure sarva asha. चक्षुदान दिलो जय जन्मे जन्मे प्रभु से. हृदय ज्ञान हृदय प्रकाशित. प्रेम भक्ति जहाँ होते अविद्या विनाश जते. वेद गाय हर चरिता. Shri Guru Karuna Sindhu Adamarjanara Bandhu. Lokanath Lokera Jivana. Srila Prabhupada Patita Pavana. Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada. Namah Shnupanaya Krishna Prasaya Bhutale Srimad
Namaste Bhakti Vedanta Swami Dinamine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Ashatyadi Shatarine. Nirvishesha Priya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Garadhara Shiva Sarit Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Garadharat Shiva Sarit Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Nittai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nittai Gaura Hari Bol. Hari Bol, Nittai Gaura Hari. Joy. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Jai. What?
You learn that. The lotus feet of our spiritual
Master is only. Hey, you first learn. You have to first learn the translation. There's no point of learning that if you can't learn the translation of the whole song.
Microphone though. The lotus feet of our spiritual
The lotus feet of our spiritual master is the only way where we should attain pure devotional service. I bow down to his lotus feet with a great awe and reverence. By his grace, one can cross the ocean, mature suffering, and obtain the mercy of Krishna. My only wish is that my consciousness purified by the words emanating from his lotus mouth. Attachment to his lowest fee is the perfection that fulfills all desires. He darkness and fills my heart with transcendental knowledge. He is my Lord, birth after birth. From him ecstatic permanent emanates. By him ignorance is destroyed. The Vedic scripture sing as a character. Our spiritual master, the ocean of mercy, the friend of poor, and the Lord and master of devotees. O master, be my song to us. Give the shade of the she. Your famous spirit all over the day world. We take the shelter of the Lord Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.